Hello everyone and welcome to today's webinar, Explore Family Communications. My name is Tash and I'm a training specialist here at Explore, and I will be taking you through today's session. To start, I would like to show my respect and acknowledge the Quandamooka people as the traditional custodians of the lands, winds and waters from where I gather today. I extend my acknowledgement to the traditional custodians throughout Australia, celebrating their diversity, culture, and ongoing connections to lands, winds, and waters throughout Australia, including where you gather from today. I pay respect to elders past, present, and emerging, extending that respect to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples joining us today. Okay, as always, we love to engage with our online community. Throughout this session, you will be able to interact and engage with myself. If you do have any questions about any of the features that we're going to run through, you can use the Q&A section. You'll find that on your bar of Teams under Q&A. So just posting any questions in there. At the end of today's session, I'll be able to go through and answer those live for you. If you would like to connect with the community that is online and present today as well, you can use the chat. Just let everyone know what service you're from or provider. If you've got any questions that you would like to engage one another with, please use the chat and just reach out and really connect with our office community. Excellent. So the agenda today, obviously today's agenda is all based around family communication, specifically comms centre in office. So what I'm going to be taking you through is the new provider communications that has just been launched. We're also going to touch on service level posts, hub messages and SMS. So just speaking about how you could utilise those to really be communicating with your families and also using that as a platform for connection, for getting their advice, their insights in what they're enjoying, what they're not enjoying as well at the service. Excellent. Without further ado, I will jump live into our office system and let me take you through provider level comms. Okay, so to engage in provider level communications, you do need to have either super admin or provider level credentials and have the ability to view multiple services within your office platform. To use the provider level communications, you'll see under your provider name, when you're selecting a service, you need to select on all services at the top. So if we were just to select on an individual centre, we would not have access to provider level comms. It will instead take us to the communications section. So that's where you'll be able to, as standard, be sending off posts, hub messages and SMS. But when we're speaking to provider level comms, in the drop down, it's all services like so. You'll be able to see it says provider level communications as well. So if you are confused as to where you are, it's going to identify which one you're looking at. In here, we have one type of communication for providers, and that one is a post. When you do come into the post, it's very, very similar formatting to what you're already used to with your service level posts. You have the ability to input your title of up to 100 characters in here. You're able to add the content and the body of your message within this space here. It has the same abilities that you're used to already. So you can add photos in here, bold, italicize. You've got your different sizing for your text that you're putting in, how you're positioning it. You've got your numbering and bulleting over here. You've got your colors. You can also add URL links in here. So we've aligned that editor to be exactly the same as what you're used to if you have been utilizing CommCenter posts on a service level. When we're coming and adding our contacts, however, there has been an enhancement being that this is at provider level now. So when we add contacts, you'll be able to see, firstly, that you can type a parent or child's name into the search bar. This means that you can quickly segment your view and be adding certain participants that you require this communication to be shared with. You also have the ability to drop down and select the services that you would like included in this. So as I mentioned, as this is a provider level communication, it will be to all services, but the information you're sharing might only be relevant to, say, these two services, for example. So this will put them into a filter, and then it will update your families that are listed to align with the two services or however many services you've selected. You've also got your filtering options in here, and they lie under the carer type, so primary carer or anyone else who isn't a primary carer. You've also got your tags. Now, these align with the tags that the families have against their account. So, under your financial parent accounts, when you add a tag in there, you've got your tag options that you can select in here. Other filters that you've got in here is you can also be segmenting your families listed via families that have no scheduled payment. So if you are integrated with X Pay by Debit Success and you're really wanting to promote that from a provider level, you will also be able to see who has no scheduled payments in your system and just be sharing information out exclusively with them. So any combination of the additional filters in here, once you're ready, you'll hit apply. And again, that segments the view of the families that you have listed here to select from. Once you're ready, we have given you the option to quickly select all to the top right. Alternately, you can still just press at the top here and select all, or go through and deselect those who you would not like to share this information with. Now, from a provider view, you're able to see the parent or guardian name, the service that they're linked to, and the child or children that they have listed on their account. If you do scroll across, you still have that information in terms of whether they hold an email address or not on their account. And then you can see their phone number and the tags that they might have on their account also. Really key to note, because we are sharing this out as a post, it will go into their home app, and you do have the option to select share to email as well. If they don't have an email address on their account, however, they won't have home app access, and they also won't be able to receive this via email. So keep that in mind. You don't need to deselect these families. It just won't share to them because there's nowhere for it to go. However, really great option to be reaching out and getting that updated email address for these families so they don't miss any future communications. Once you're ready, we have aligned this action the same as what you're used to in your service level posts. So you just add selected and you'll be able to see them here. Again, inserting your title, inserting the body of your information that you're wanting to share. You then come over to the right and you'll be able to add a cover photo. Now, if you have a home account at all, or if you've created a demo home account that you've utilized, you'll know that the Office system has a white background, but your home app has a dark grey / black background. So adding a pop of color through a cover photo is really appealing for families when they go in and they're reading the content. It really makes it highlight and pop off the page for them. So if you do have a cover photo, highly recommend that you can add one in there. Your options to send to email align with the service level posts as well. So if you would like this to go both to the home app and to email, you can toggle on email. Really key to note that they will not be able to respond to you via email. So if they do need to get in contact and give you any further information, they will need to reach out to the individual service, or you may wish to add an email address in the body of the content that you're sharing so that they can submit that directly through to whomever it's most relevant for. It is also key to note when you do share out a provider level communication to the home app, families will not have the ability to be able to comment back either. And you can see that here, it's permanently disabled. The reason for that is that it's really hard to manage. If I'm the provider that has shared out that com center post, I would need to come back in and be managing, okay, who's responded, where did they respond from? So we've just eliminated that. The reason that you might be using provider level comms would be to share out sensitive information around fee increases, potentially work that's happening at the service, closures, a lot of key information that families need to receive, but don't necessarily need to respond to you as the sender. They may need to further discuss that, and they can do that with their service admins. So again, just put in how you'd like them to communicate with you if they do have any further questions into the body. You've also got the ability to add attachments in here. So you can add up to 10 attachments with a total of 10 megabytes. These are the formats that the file needs to be positioned in. So PDF, docs, your PNG and your JPEGs. So really we're not having Word documents where you're expecting families to go in and edit them. That's just not possible to attach on here. They won't be able to go through and edit and send back. But if you want to send out policies, if you want to send out a letter that maybe you've drafted, just saving it into PDF format and you can share that on here. So again, you've got up to 10 that you can share. Once you've attached everything and you're ready, you do have two options in here. You can save it as a draft, or if you are ready to launch this, you can publish and that will go out to the families that you have tagged. Really great in here. Once you do share out a post, you will be able to come back in and you do still have that scene counter. You would have recognized that we do have that in the service level as well. So you can come in and press on this. And once your family's parents, guardians start opening up these communications through Home app, it will have the date and time stamp. So it'll show you who's opened it and received it. So really great way to make sure that it is being seen, acknowledged by your families. If not, you might reach out to your service admins and just have a conversation with them around, okay, maybe we need to drive the use of Home app a little bit more. Maybe we need to share some information around how families would best utilize Home app, where they'll be able to turn notifications on for admin posts. How they can be receiving our information in a timely manner. The addition that you have in your provider level communications is that you can segment your views via read and unread as well. We assume in provider level, because you're going to have multiple services, you might have quite a few contacts receiving your post. So we want to be able to segment your view based on the information that's most relevant. So if you just want to see who's read it and who hasn't read it, you can segment by those two. We'll give you your percentage as well based on who opens this up and reads it in Home app. So you'll be able to see that at the top. Excellent. So that is your provider level comms. Again, you do need to be logged in under all services in order to use this new feature, but really great to be able to share out really relevant information quite quickly from a provider level. Now, in the system here, it does work really similar to posts in that you will be able to go through and edit a communication if you need to. So if you've put the incorrect URL, if there's something that you need to update, you absolutely can update that. And when you republish, the families will get a notification that there's been an update made and they can go in, it will prompt them to review it. You can duplicate in the system here. So if you have created a communication around something like fee changes or a policy and review, if you'd like to duplicate that communication from an original and then just make some little wording changes, pressing on duplicate here and you'll be able to do that. On your three dots here, you've got the ability to delete a draft. And then for anything that has been published to your families, you can archive it. The benefit to archiving is that it will remove it off the Home app for families. So it's going to reduce the amount of posts that they're seeing in their inbox on the Home app. So you might be archiving things that are no longer relevant. For example, when we move into 2025, you might archive all of 2024's communications if they're no longer relevant, if it's things around policies and review, work that you had at the centre done, you can archive it. For your system, you'll still see it. You'll still have those read receipts on who opened it, who engaged and when they engaged. But for the families, that's just going to remove out of their immediate comm centre inbox or admin post inbox, which means that they're just seeing relevant information for their child currently. So completely up to you if you'd like to archive those as well. In terms of provider communications, that's all for the new feature. I'm now going to take you through from a service level and just do a review on the 3 levels of communications that you have possible in the system. So in your drop down, if we go into your particular service, Comms Center will upgrade and show communications rather than provider communications. From this, under new, you'll see that we have the option for post, hub message, and SMS. Now, SMS does incur additional charges, and it is a feature that you would need to toggle on at a provider level in order for services to utilize this. You do also have a few options under your preference if you do opt to use SMS. If we select on preferences, firstly, enabling SMS, so turning on your SMS booster, you won't have a center number connected anymore. So if you do opt to utilize SMS, it will come from a generic number, not from a particular service number. Families won't be able to respond back. There's no way to receive an SMS from them. But you can set your monthly limit in here. So if you wouldn't like to send any more than 1,000 SMS, you can put 1,000 in there, and it does block the ability to share more than 1,000 SMS. You can come in and update this at any time, however. You can also toggle on how you would like to utilize your SMS feature. So by stock standard in the Comm Center, you can create an SMS, which is just a custom text that you've created with 160 characters, and you can share that out to the nominated contacts that you put into the system, which we'll walk through in a moment. But you do also have the ability to be able to SMS for bad debtors, and you will do this through the dashboard. This is a generic SMS that Xplore has created. So when you press on SMS, it sends through a pre-created text to that family to let them know that they have an outstanding bill at the service and if they could please make a payment in a timely manner. So it's a really great way to be sending that reminder out to families without you having to construct or segment to find who it is that needs to receive this. You've got your statement notifications as well. So under our financial parent accounts, when you send a statement, you are also able to send an accompanying text message to let families know that their statement is now ready for review and you've shared it through to them. Because they have access on their home app to their live statement, this isn't a feature that we see highly used, but really great for particular fixed billing. So if you only bill by term, rather than having a non-fixed billing window where maybe you bill 2 weeks in advance, 1 week in advance, current week, then this is a great feature because you can let your families know that their statement's now ready. Obviously, that payment's going to come out in a timely manner so they can go on and review, and then potentially they might be paying next week if they pay by a term. You can also turn on SMS for booking requests. So if you receive booking requests and you would like to automatically send a text message along with the home app message that automates to whether you've approved that day or not, you can toggle that on as well. So you can toggle these on and off at any stage, dependent on how you would like to utilize SMS as a feature, or don't turn on SMS if you wouldn't like to utilize. But anything that you do update, you want to press on save down the bottom to affix to your system. And then if we're creating an SMS, new SMS, in here, you're going to put your title. You've got up to 100 characters in the system here. So quite a short title, but it might be excursion information. We can go through and add our contacts. Now, because we're at a service level, we've got quite a high level of filtering options to really segment and itemize based on the families or contacts that should be receiving this information. So if we're going through the parent tab here, you can search for a particular parent name by first name or surname. Carer type, so primary carer or not primary carer. You can go through tags as well. So again, these align to the financial parent account tags that you're adding in there. So if you'd like to segment your view based on a particular tag, you can select that. Or your other filtering options in here are families with no scheduled payments or families who do not have a home account created. So they're your filtering options when we're going through the parent tab. We could also come through the children tab. And then you've got a few filtering options in here. So your filtering in here is via child name. So that will be first name or surname. Their care type. So are we sending it to their primary carer or not primary carer? We can segment via their room. Now their room is listed in here, and that will be based on the room on their profile. So their child's profile, not their bookings on MasterRoll. So really clear to identify when we're selecting on room, child profile room. You can segment via age. So we've got ages in here. Segment via status, so active, inactive, or waitlisted. If you are reaching out to your inactive families, this would be via SMS or email. They're not really going to be on the home app if they have finished up at your service. They won't be actively checking that one. And then bookings. So do we want to be sending or sharing this information out with families who have bookings this week? Yes or no? So if you put in yes, it's just for families, for children who have bookings on MasterRoll for this week, or if you say no, they don't have bookings. Otherwise, it's all. So once you've gone through and segmented who you'd like to select this, who you would like to have this received to, you can tick on them all. We can expand all so you can see that I've selected all families in here under the child name. Add selected, and then we've got our 27 selected in here. As I mentioned, for a text message, you have up to 160 characters, so it is quite small for one text. If you do go over the 160, it goes into a second text message. You can have as many text messages as you would like in here, but it will obviously have a cost incurred, and that will go up based on how many you've selected, what you've shared out. Once you put the content or the body of your text in here, you can go through and send, or you can save this as a draft, come back and review it and send it at a later date. It is a really, really great way to be instantly communicating with your family. So for things that are quite urgent, you might opt to be using SMS because everyone has their phone near them and may see a text message versus, a hub post, which would just be seen when they're signing their child in or out, or a post which goes to the home app, which they may not have their notifications turned on. It's dependent on obviously how they've set their account up. So this would instantly be received by the families. Again, they don't have the ability to text you back, but you could definitely be receiving phone calls, or you could pop a little message in there with a number for them to call if you would like a response. So that one's SMS. So a really, really great communication method with your families. Under Comm Centre, you've got the one type of message, but if you do toggle on those other features, you'll be able to see through dashboard when we come down to our top debtors and creditors. If we've got SMS turned on, this is how we'll text here. So you can just send a text message reminder and it instantly will send through. If you're wanting to share a text message via the statement, so sharing out of a statement, financial parent accounts, if you've got that feature toggled on, when we come into the parent accounts, you'll be able to send it to them. You'll also be able to, they'll receive a text message once you've sent them the statement to let them know their statement's ready for review. So completely up to you how you utilise. Excellent. The next form of communication that you have with your families is the hub message. The hub message is exclusive to the hub, which is the sign in and out device that you would have at your front desk. So families are utilizing that to sign their children in and out. Hub messages are really, really great in that the family has to see the message before they can sign their child in or out. So it's great to be able to capture a wide audience. They are quite small in that they can only be 120 characters in size, but you might utilize a hub message to let families know, please check lost property. Don't forget we have an incursion tomorrow. Don't forget we have an excursion tomorrow. You might itemize hub messages for families who have incident forms. So just reminding them that they have an incident form. So before they leave, can they see an educator to get that signed? So it's a really great way to send something that's quite short, sharp, quick. Family will see it, they'll sign their child in or out, and then they can go and action whatever that item is. You'll pop your hub message in here. And then you'll put the body in here. You might write a little bit nicer. That's quite blunt. But just as an example, you can see in there, you've got your character count in here as well. So you'll be able to see how many characters this is, how many you've got left. When you go through and put your expiry date, you can date this for as long as you'd like, but the family will only see it once. So each contact will only have that hub message populate once, but you might have this running for 7 days to maximize the viewers. So we might capture every single family that attends between today and next Wednesday if we set it for 7 days. But again, they only see it once. So it's only going to pop up. They're going to hit OK. And then it won't populate again for them. Excellent. When you're adding in your contacts in here, you've got the same filtering options under Parent tab or Children tab. So just going through, segmenting to those particular contacts that you wish to receive this, adding selected. And then once you've done that, we can publish this. And again, that's live on the hub. So then your families, as they go to sign their child in or out for the day, will be able to see it. Your scene count will go up and up for every person who opens this and obviously has to click OK. So a really great way to communicate with your families quite quickly. Everyone's going to sign their child in or out. You've got a great date span in there in that you could run it for a month, for 7 days, for 1 day. So it's going to expire when it's no longer relevant, and that's determined by you. Excellent. Your last form of communicating with families is your service level post. So really similar to the provider level post that we just went through, you can pop in a title here of up to 100 characters. You've got your body of the text that you want to share with families. You can cut and paste this from a website. If you've got a Word doc, if you're posting from a policy, you can go through and cut and paste, or you can create from scratch. Again, you've got your editor options in here. You can also attach URLs, and you can add images in here as well. So you can really customize these and brand these by adding your logo in, by using a certain color, by using a certain sizing. You can really just have these in the system looking amazing and super professional, aligning with your provider or service coloring and logo. Adding your contacts in is exactly the same. So segmenting under parents and children, you can go through and add whomever you'd like in there. You've got a few additional options in a service level post. You can add a cover photo. So adding that in here, just uploading up to 10 megabytes. It doesn't need to be a PNG, JPEG, or JPG. They're the only ones. You can send to email. Again, if your families don't have an email address, then they don't have a home app. They're not going to be able to receive via email. So just going through and just double checking that would be key. You've got the ability to make commenting public, however. So from a service level, this is a great way to collaborate with families. Sharing out a post and having commenting open works really similar to a social media post in that all families will be able to see each other's comments, but they can get into the comments and collaborate with one another. You might be asking them the opinion on change of hours, our menu. We've got our vacation care coming up for Osh. What activities would you like to see? You could be getting family input in so many levels by utilizing your service level posts. So adding public in there is great. If it's more sensitive information or you don't want that collaboration, you can disable, so then you don't have the ability to comment at all. You can add attachments in here, so it works the same as the provider level, up to 10 attachments in these formats, up to 10 megabytes in total. And then we have created some templates in the system for service level. So in the drop down, you'll note that we have the EDDR sign up form. So for any families who haven't actioned and signed up to Debit Success at your service and you'd like to promote that, we've drafted that in here. So based on the contacts that you've added, this is what it looks like. You can go through and further customize this, but you can't customize the template itself. So you can add more information once you've selected the template. You can add your logo in, you could change the font, colors, sizing, positioning to align with all the comms that you share out, but it won't update the template in here, so you'll have to do it each time. But a really great one to share out with families. Everything's in there. You've got occupancy promotion, you've got your parent account setup reminder as well. So for new families who haven't yet set their home app, you could be sharing this one out. It gives them directions on how to download the home app, where to find it, what it looks like, and what it does. For this one, you do need to send it to their email. When you select on it, you can see that we will pre-format that for you. You've also got your parent onboarding one in here. So again, it walks them through a few simple tasks that they might need to be aware of when utilising your service. So what home app is, how they can use it, where they download it, but you can go through and add anything in here as well. Again, you can cut and paste from a website, or if you've already got a Word doc with, some simple instructions or parent onboarding steps, you can cut and paste from the Word doc that you hold as well and place it in here. For a service level post, you are able to save as a draft, or you can publish. Once it's published out, you'll be able to see it here. You will have the scene count in here. So as your families open this up and view it, you'll be able to see. And then when we do go back to the main dashboard, you've got a couple of additional options in here. So similar to provider level posts, you can edit your existing post in the system. Once you press on publish, again, your families are alerted that there's been an update and they can go through and review that update. You can duplicate this as well. But the additional feature that you have in here is you can pin the post. It pins for you as a service admin. So it'll be the first thing that you see when you come into your system. You'll be able to see the little pin here, but it also pins for your families on their home app. So if this is something that you want families to have quick access to, anything that is pinned will be pinned at the very top of their admin posts. So it makes it really easy for them to go in and find it quite quickly. For example, it might be we're getting some work done or construction done to our car park, and so they might need to park somewhere else. So you could pin that post. Once the construction work's all over, you can come back to this, you can unpin it, and then it will just fall back into line. For your families, they're seeing admin posts in order of how they've been published. So date order, really similar to how they see their learning timeline if you're utilising Playground. But for anything pinned, that will be the immediate top thing that they will see. And that is our family communications platform in the Office system. Now, we have reached time, but if there are any questions, I will go through and answer those live now. If you do need to jump off, you will be sent a copy of this recording, so you can go back through, skip to the end, and just see the questions. Excellent. Is there any restrictions on the number of services or contacts if you want to send to all services and contacts? We could be dealing with thousands of contacts. There's no limit or restriction. So really great question. Thank you for asking that one. No, we've set it up in a way that you can absolutely be contacting thousands of people. Now, that is why we've put that troubleshooting in there in terms of they can't respond to the post that's sent out at a provider level, and they're not emailing back to that post either, because again, you could be dealing with thousands of families. So when you're sharing that information, it goes directly through to their home app, or if you've opted for email, it'll hit that as well, but there won't be an option for them to respond back, so you don't have to manage thousands of responses. They'll go back to the service admins if they have questions, but no limits. Does it cost the service more to send via SMS, or is it included in our subscription? It's an additional charge. So SMS is charged per text message. Now, I don't have the costing on that because it would be what you've negotiated in your contract if you want SMS. If you are interested in SMS and you want to know what the costing would look like prior to turning that on, please reach out to your account manager. They will absolutely be able to highlight that for you. If you don't know who your account manager is, then our support team would be more than happy to assist you with this as well. So reach out to the team and they can let you know on the additional charges. If you've also if you'd also like to know what the automated email wording looks like for things like statement, bad debtors, etc., we've got that on our knowledge base article under Comm Centre. So if you go into our knowledge base, type in Comm Centre, you'll have several accordions with each of the features. So it's just under the SMS accordion, and it will give you the exact wording for bad debtors, for statements, etc. So then you can see that in the system. It is a great time saver to be utilising SMS because everyone has their phone near them, so you know that you're getting that information out quite timely to those families that require it. As long as you're happy to absorb those costs. The costs will be charged, and then you'll pay them, I think it's a monthly charge, so you can go through, but your account managers will be able to give you the exact details on how that will work for you. For service level communications via email, can parents respond to the email? Where will the response appear? They can't. Really great question. Thank you for asking. When they receive an email that you've sent out via Comm Centre, it comes from Xplore. In their account, it says you have a new Xplore communication. So when they go in, they are only seeing the title that you've shared and the body of text that you've shared if you've selected via email. They don't see who it was sent by. So you would just sign off at the end of your comms post and say, from Tash Beeman or Centre Manager or whoever has shared that communication. If you are anticipating that they would need to respond, so if you've sent something via email that you're expecting a response from, really key to put in that body of the post how to respond back to you. So get in touch with us via this email address or this phone number so we can further outline this for you, but they won't be able to respond to the email. If you have enabled commenting though, when they go onto the home app, then obviously they can comment in there. You'll be able to come through and view their comments in the Comm Centre here. So just pressing, you'll see the comments, you can respond back to them via email or however you'd like to communicate back with them. Excellent. That's all the questions that have come through. Perfect. Thank you all so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it. As always, we love liaising with our online community. So if there are topics that you would like to see covered in upcoming webinars, please let us know. We will send out a survey tomorrow with the recording of today's session, but also just asking for a little bit of feedback. So if there are things that you want to be seeing us present to you, please let us know. If you found this session valuable, or if you didn't find it valuable at all, please leave that feedback as well. We really want to be catering these that you walk away with a lot of knowledge and understanding of the features that we've presented. So let us know if we're not quite meeting that mark for you, or if we are. We have one more question. Is there a way to automatically integrate, example, export and import the contacts from Xplore to an email software like Gmail or MailChimp? If you aren't wanting to use Comm Centre and instead you're wanting to use an external, you absolutely can. Best way to do it is through our report. So if you go reports, contact reports, and you got your parent and child details report in here, once you open this one up, it is quite a large report because we give you everything. But I think it's column E is all of your parent and guardian emails. So you could just copy that column and then paste it into Gmail if that's what you're wanting to use. Really up to you. I wouldn't recommend saving that because obviously if you have new families that join you or families who finish up at the service, you probably want to be grabbing those live, but that's an instant report that will come to your email address quite quickly. Excellent question though. Perfect. Thank you all so much. We do have another webinar running tomorrow. So if you are interested, our webinar running tomorrow is the end of calendar year for Office. So if you'd like to know all the tasks, tips and tricks for ending the year on a high and making sure that you're set up for success in 2025, please join us for that session. Otherwise, we'll see you at a future webinar. Have a great day. Thank you all so much.